What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to another episode of Seahawks Now, your home for all things daily Seahawks news, updates, rumors. Today, the Seahawks take down the Chiefs in dominating fashion over the weekend. Yeah, that's right. The preseason game two is in the books, and the Seahawks looked really good. We're going to talk about that, plus how they are gaining momentum, right? There are new predictions, new updates to the analysts who always think they know everything. Well, the analysts now all of a sudden think they might know the Seahawks a little bit better, and they're gaining some momentum. And as far as the predictions game goes, we're going to talk about that and how that could affect the confidence of this team. Plus, we talk about the Trey Hendrickson rumors that have resurfaced and what that means for the Seahawks. But let's get into it, guys. The Seahawks taking down the Chiefs in dominating fashion. They win 33-16. The Seahawks looked really, really good on offense. Sam Darnold, he led them out for the first drive and went 4 for 4 for 34 yards. Didn't do a whole lot on the passing game, but looked good. Didn't throw in a single incompletion. Jalen Milroe did not do very much. He went 3 for 5, 46 yards. Again, no touchdowns. He also rushed for 18 yards in 5 attempts. And then you got Drew Lock, who looked really, really good, and I think he's probably secured his place on this team. Drew Lock going 10 for 12 with 129 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Those touchdowns both going to Jake Bobo, right? Jake Bobo had a great game, 24 yards, 2 receptions, but both of those receptions going for a touchdown. And I think Jake Bobo, again, after this game, I feel like he has kind of proven that, yeah, he deserves to be on this roster. Because I feel like Jake Bobo is one of those guys who was kind of competing for a spot. Maybe Torrey Horton has stolen his role. Maybe Cody White, Derek Young. There's a lot of guys who are kind of in the mix for that 5th, 6th receiver role. I think Jake Bobo proved that he deserves to be there. He made 2 touchdown passes again to Drew Lock. I think Drew Lock has proved that, yeah, he should be the backup quarterback going into the season. Jalen Milroe obviously was taken in the 3rd round. I think he is the future backup quarterback for this team and potentially even the future starting quarterback for this team. But right now, it's not his time yet. It is not Jalen Milroe's time to shine. I think Drew Lock has outperformed him in the preseason. I'd love to see some more of Milroe next week. I think we do need to see more of an extended look at Jalen Milroe. So far, we've only seen a little bit of Milroe. We've seen mostly it has been Drew Lock this preseason, and Drew Lock has looked good. So again, I do think that Drew Lock should be that number 2 quarterback on the depth chart. Then you got the running backs. How did Damian Martinez do? He actually had a great game. He bounced back from his he didn't play very well. Week 1 in the preseason, he did not play very well. This time he goes for 50 yards on the ground and a touchdown and 11 carries. He also caught 2 passes for 14 yards. I think that, again, Damian Martinez, I think he does deserve to be on the roster as well, right? This is a guy who was a 7th-round draft pick. A lot of people thought, he's at least going to make the practice squad. I think with Kenny McIntosh hurt, I think it makes sense to keep 4 running backs. I do. And I think it's got to be Damian Martinez, George Halani, I also think deserves to be there. He went for 49 yards on just 5 carries, averaging 9.8 yards per carry. And he also had a great preseason game 1. So I think Martinez and Halani both need to be on that opening day roster, in addition to Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Again, 4 running backs. I'm down for it. You keep Robbie Outs as kind of a tight end / running back as well. That is what makes the most sense to me. And that brings me into by the way, didn't even mention, Zach Charbonnet had a nice little game for himself. 5 carries, 45 yards, averaging 9 yards per carry, and went for a touchdown. So we got to see a little bit of Charbs. Still no Kenneth Walker, and I don't think he's going to play until week 1 of the regular season. Also, Jacardia Wright had himself a nice game. 9 carries, 48 yards for Jacardia Wright. I think he ends up on the practice squad when it's all said and done. By the way, Drew Lock, 34 rushing yards in 2 attempts. So Drew Lock actually ran the ball better than Milroe did, which is interesting. But again, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's talk about the receivers really quick. Here's an interesting thing. So we did get to see a little bit of JSN. He caught 1 pass on the opening drive. Torrey Horton also catching 1 pass for 12 yards. Still haven't seen any of Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I think he's on the team. But yeah, looking at the receivers, I think what you end up with is obviously you have JSN, Cooper Kupp, and Torrey Horton are on the team. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, I think he's also on the team. I don't think there's any way we don't put a $3 million contract on the team, at least to start the season off. That leaves you with probably one last spot. And maybe they go with 6 receivers, but I think they're going to take 4 running backs and 5 receivers. That's my guess, in addition to keeping Robbie out as your tight end. I think the 5th spot right now, you got to give it to Jake Bobo. 2 receptions, 24 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's tough for Derek Young. He had a nice little game for himself. He caught 3 passes for 52 yards. Cody White also had a nice little game, 2 receptions for 26 yards. And my favorite 7th-round draft pick of all time, maybe, Ricky White III, he caught 1 pass for 20 yards, and he looked good. But I think you have to give it to Jake Bobo. He's been there. He knows the offense, and he looked good in that preseason game. It doesn't mean you can't keep Derek Young and Cody White on the practice squad. Ricky White as well. You can keep these guys in the practice squad. You can mix and match for certain games. Guys will get hurt. Guys are going to get opportunities. I would keep my 5 receivers would be JSN, Cooper Kupp, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Torrey Horton, and Jake Bobo would be my 5. And I think if you do include a 6th, I would still go with Ricky White III just because he was a more recent draft pick, but obviously we'll see. Defensively, not a whole lot to talk about. I feel like it was mostly second string guys again on the defense. Seth Coleman had 1.5 sacks as he kind of battles to make the roster. I don't think he will make it. But yeah, other than that, not a whole lot actually going on in the defense. No interceptions. On the Chiefs side of the ball, we did not get to see Patrick Mahomes in action. We did see some Gardner Minshew. He went 7 for 9, 70 yards and a touchdown. Also got to see some Bailey Zappi and some Chris Oladokin. So yeah, some interesting players for sure over on the Chiefs side of the ball. With that being said, guys, I want to talk about the resurfacing Trey Hendrickson rumors really, really quickly. I'm not going to touch on this very much, but Trey Hendrickson, the rumor is today that the Bengals are listening to offers. So this is a massive reversal, from what we've talked about just a couple weeks ago when it was reported that, actually he's ending his holdout, he's going to play, and the Bengals are working to get a new contract. Well, now apparently that is not the case anymore. They are now listening to offers, and that's really the only update. It's a pretty major update. There's not a whole lot to say. I've been saying for the past 2 or 3 months the Seahawks should try to trade for him, and I still think they should. Again, we've talked about this. I'm going to talk about this more tomorrow. But yeah, according to Elliot Wolf, the Patriots are open to making a trade for Trey Hendrickson. The Bears are open to this. We're hearing that the Packers might be interested. The Eagles could be interested. There's a lot of teams that are going to be interested in Trey Hendrickson. I think the Seahawks should throw their hat in the ring. Again, it's the same thing with Micah Parsons. A, it makes your team better, both now and long term. And B, it takes away the possibility for one of your opponents to get better. Because if the Eagles or the Commanders or the 49ers or the Rams or the Packers or the Lions or any of these NFC teams, if he goes to an NFC team, that means, what does it mean? It means if you make the playoffs, you have to play against him in the playoffs. It makes your road to the Super Bowl a lot harder. But if you get him on your side, it makes your road to the Super Bowl a lot easier. So again, I would go trade for him. I'd make that trade happen. We're going to talk about more of that tomorrow. Let's move on. Seahawks are gaining momentum after preseason win. More and more people are starting to hop on the Seahawks bandwagon, starting with Colin Cowherd. Yeah, that's right. Colin Cowherd, your favorite Fox Sports analyst. He is now predicting that the Seahawks will win the NFC West. And I'm starting to see this a lot more, kind of this, the Seahawks, they could be a dark horse. They could be a trendy pick. Yeah. How about this? Guys, the Seahawks, all it took was one preseason win against the Super Bowl losing Kansas City Chiefs. And all of a sudden, we are now considered a dark horse sleeper pick. Colin Cowherd going all the way, already saying we can win the division. I think this is good. I think this is helpful. I think there's something to be said about, when a team has a chip on their shoulder. I do think that sometimes that can help teams out. But I think more than that, having confidence is what makes teams really, really special. And the Seahawks, I think this could actually really be a big confidence boost. You beat the Chiefs by 17 points on their turf, by the way. I think that really makes a statement to the leagues like, look at us. We are young, we are hungry, we are ready to go. And put some respect on our shoulders. Because, again, the underdog chip, it works for some teams. I think for most teams, what works a lot better is to say, we are here, we are good, you better respect us. And I think the Seahawks are starting to show that They get the big win. Now they're getting some support from the media. I think that really helps gain momentum going into the regular season, going into week 1. When you have that momentum on your side, it can be the difference. It can be a night and day, the difference, because momentum is everything in this league, and the Seahawks, all of a sudden, they have it. All right, guys, that's going to wrap things up for today. As always, if you like what you see, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and let's talk about the Seahawks, guys. Comment down below anything, honestly. Just comment any of your thoughts, any questions you have for me. I want to start answering you guys' comments in future videos. So with that all being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow, and as always, until next time, go Seahawks.